Welcome to a brand new season on Where Canaries Walk. If you missed us last year, this is our second season of this podcast, but we're grateful to have your company. It is 20 minutes a week of reviewing all things Norwich City. The good tweets, the bad tweets, the head losses, which is where we're going to start exactly this week. Delighted to have, of course, fan of the year from a couple of seasons ago, Killian O'Grady, and upcoming journalist Matty Soquel. How are we doing, fellas? Well, how were you doing up to 3 o'clock yesterday, should I say? All right.
It was marvellous until then, yeah.
It was a good day out that thankfully wasn't ruined by the football as much as the football thrived.
We are recording this, of course, straight away after that loss to Millwall. Millwall's first win there, by the way, since 1968, which is absolutely incredible. They're delighted, of course. We'll review the Millwall result. We're talking about Forsson, we're talking about the tactics, and we're talking about whether this is all Napper's fault, which is a couple of tweets we've got might suggest it is the case. But let's not be too knee-jerky here, Matty. Hey, but was it as bad as some people are making out, or were Millwall just that good?
Millwall were decent. Like I'm a big believer in always giving credit where credit's due, and I think they were the better team. I think if anyone was to have watched the second half in isolation, they certainly wouldn't have any arguments. The fact that Millwall wanted it that bit more. We had a decent spell at the start, first 15, 20 minutes or so, we were okay. But apart from that, it was a little bit disappointing. We were a little bit lackluster, and it felt like Millwall fought a little bit harder. Maybe they're more well gelled, given the fact that we've brought in so many new faces. I don't know, but equally you've got to be careful to not lose your head after one game, eh?
Yeah. I mean, we've got some tweets that have lost their head, but we'll come on to them in a minute. Killian, for you, I mean, let's take the positives, shall we? What were the positives from the game?
There was a couple there. I mean, obviously, as Matty said, we started very well. I thought we were looking really good. We were moving the ball fast. And I was very impressed, certainly in the first half, with our new signing, Mirko Topic. He looked amazing. Really, really strong, fast running, good ball control. So I thought we started well. Sort of second half, we just didn't show up. And some of the defensive frailties we had last season kicked in again. So it was... there's a bit of work still to be done, and I don't know how long you can. I mean, obviously there is a lot of new players, but I'm not sure how long we can use that as an excuse either.
Yeah, okay. Let's have a look at some of the takes. Shall we then? Nodge says, "I'm honestly at a loss for words at how open we were and how slow we are at moving the ball." Matty says, or she says, sorry, Forsson needs to be dropped. He's had a good pre-season because low-intensity football suits him, but the real stuff, he's just... if we can't create good chances and can't defend, then you know what comes next. So then, Matty, it's a bit too early to start having a go at players, but you're heading to Pompey at the weekend. Does Forsson get dropped?
Oh, I mean, given how we set up, and this is a separate topic of conversation really in terms of the shape, because there's already been a bit of criticism for the sort of the back three or the back five, but given where we played, I do think there is a better option in that position. I think the biggest issue with Fawcett yesterday is that he looked a little bit lightweight, a little bit, especially against Millwall are always a physical side. It doesn't seem to matter whether it's 2000, 2005, 2015 or 2025. Millwall are always a physical side, and you know what to expect. And he did get a little bit bullied yesterday, Orson. So it might be a bit harsh to drop him or to rotate him, but it might be necessary.
Okay. You mentioned the formation. There was a few Killian shouting out that. Josh says, never play that formation again. It doesn't work, and it never will. Orson, Cernech, and Medici all out for the next game. So going a little bit further here, Killian, and doesn't want to see those three again. Is he right?
I mean, I wouldn't go that strong. I think Medici was poor yesterday. Obviously, his first game ever in the Championship, so I think you got to allow for that, but he didn't look like much of an upgrade on Duffy. I think there's an opportunity for us against Watford on Tuesday in the Cup, maybe to try a few others and see, like, would someone like Kellen Fisher be better coming back in with maybe someone like Rory McConville, test him out. But yeah, the same team goes out again. next week, I think we could end up with a similar situation.
Okay. It's very easy to point the finger after the first game loss, especially first game at home, Matty. But there were quite a number of tweets and in the forums as well calling out the board a little bit. Here's just an example of it. Susie says, "What did you expect? The heart of the team has been ripped out. O'Neill was ironing his jeans when he should have been playing, and lots of newbies not used to the championship. Crappy Napper and his new sidekick to blame." Where'd you stand on all of that, Matty?
It's I don't want to offend Susie, but it's just ridiculous. Frankly speaking, it's ultimate head loss after one game, and the same thing happened last year at Oxford. We came on when the podcast first started last year and discussing about that defeat at Oxford, which it was poor, it wasn't good enough, but it was the first game of the season, and okay, the season last year didn't end up how we expected or we wanted, but there were some good moments along the way. So to jump, Hernandez hasn't been good enough for years. His goals and assists prove that, home and away. So that one, I can't even fathom how someone could argue he should still be. Let alone at the club, playing, that's just ridiculous. Anyway, and I don't know why we would go in on. Why would you blame a sporting director who's this is one of our, I think, hopefully it plays out this way, one of our best transfer windows in quite a while. So that's a really strange take, and it's one of them that you probably tweet at 5 minutes past 5, and just always give it an hour or two.
Yeah. And we share the good and we share the bad on this one, and that's an example.
And that one's a bad one. I'm going to put my neck on the line.
Yeah, because they've spent a bit of money, Killian. Is there added pressure on the manager and the players this season? I mean, the fans' expectation risen? Do you think because you have spent a bit?
Yeah, there's a high expectation, not just with the fans though, but with the players. I've spoken to quite a few of them yesterday, and they're all excited for the season. They're very, confident that they'll do well. Obviously, Liam has been saying that it might be a little bit slow to get them gelled. Now, hopefully not too slow. But there's a lot of confidence around. So I suppose the expectation has been quite high. So I suppose people came down a little bit with a bump yesterday. But it's only one game. It's a long season, as everybody knows, in the Championship. So.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 weeks ago, though, what else do we need, Matty?
Do you know what? It's difficult to say that. It's difficult to pick a particular area. The only thing that would concern me is that if Sargent was, I think he'll be here come September. But if we do sell him for silly money, maybe 20, 25 or whatever it might end up being, then is Cernach and Kaskard and the new lad whose name I forget from Lincoln that we've just brought in, is that going to be good enough? Because Sargent will, if he stays fit, and it's a massive, massive risk because he never seems to be able to, but if he stays fit, he can score 20, 25 goals in the Championship. So if he goes, then maybe another striker with some of the money we get. But apart from that, I don't know, 11 new signings. We've brought in a new keeper, new back centre-back pairing. Topic, as Killian mentioned, looked good. We signed Wright on a permanent, so again, we should have that holding midfield sorted. Jurisek's maybe going to be around this season a bit more. He essentially is a new signing. So we've strengthened in most areas. Diallo's come in on the left and Schlupp at left back. So I honestly, I thought I would talk myself out of this, but no, I'm sticking with it. I don't think there's anything else needed, to be honest. So I'm fairly happy.
Killian?
Yeah, it's hard to know. We've obviously brought in 3 goalkeepers. I hope we see a better performance from Kovacevic, if that's his name, in future matches. I just don't think he didn't look terribly confident. He's a great shot stopper, but contrasting him with the Millwall keeper, who any ball that came into the box he was going for and he was catching it, he was making it his. We need to see that, but that just might be betting into the hustle and bustle of the Championship. I think we're a little bit exposed in a couple of areas. Especially, I think left and right back. I know we've watched Schlupp in. He didn't look to me like he's 90 minutes in. Now, again, that just might be a lack of pre-season fitness, but given that Mahovo's still injured and Crescent isn't the only option, you could very quickly end up at one person. So there's a little bit of lightness there. And likewise on the right-hand side, currently we've only got Fisher and Stacey. So again, there's maybe a little bit of lack of depth there. I don't think we've got a huge amount of players. I know McConville has played right back for Northern Ireland, I think, once. But I'm not sure we've got a huge depth there. But I think there's definitely been an upgrade in some areas of the field. Like I thought Darling looked really good. Different quality. So I think when they settle down, I think we'll have a solid team. And as Matty said, Sargent's big. I mean, he's very important to us.
Yeah.
And he gave them a lot of trouble yesterday. And they said not every back four is going to be as big as those Millwall lads this season.
Yeah.
They were big lads.
I mean, they literally ripped the shirt off him.
Yeah. 5 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, they have to change his shirt.
And how that wasn't a card, I have no idea. And that same play, was it Cooper? I don't know. Both their back two ended up on yellow cards. And if that gets given as a yellow, then he's off. But listen, let's not get too critical. We weren't good enough ourselves, I suppose. But
Darling, you mentioned there's a signing and a half, I think, as well. I think he's going to be the massive difference to you where you finish this season, which is what we're going to finish on. Before we do that, though, look, it's so hard to grow any Norwich content on the internet these days, especially when there's such big juggernauts that we enjoy listening to and watching ourselves. But if you want a little more compact version of a review of the games, then please do hit the subscribe button, put those notification bell on, and that means every time we get to sit down on a Sunday and review this on a Monday, you'll get a notification of what these guys are saying. Right then, I'm going to give you each a team, and I want you to say higher or lower, please, as to whether you think Norwich will finish higher or lower.
Have you got your card, Mark?
The team mentioned, yeah. Oh, Brucey. I was going to say you're too young for that, Matty. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I know Killian isn't, no offence. Yeah. All right, here we go. Higher or lower?
That was modern technology for me.
Right, Coventry City, Matty. Higher or lower than Coventry City?
Higher, just.
Okay. Killian, what about Millwall themselves, based on what you saw?
Oh, I think higher.
Matty, let's go Sheffield United.
I think high. I think they'll struggle, you know.
Okay. Bristol City, Killian.
I think higher. Although they had a great result against Sheffield yesterday.
Yeah. Matty, Middlesbrough.
Oh, higher. I don't care, even if I didn't believe that, I'd have to say it.
Yeah, there's a bit of a personal grudge there going on. All right, let's go into it then. Southampton, Killian.
Lower.
Birmingham, Matty.
Higher, I'd hope.
Finish higher than Birmingham.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go Leicester City, Killian.
Ooh. I think higher.
Okay. And the big one. Let's go for it, Matty. In fact, both of you can say this together. Ipswich Town.
My heart says higher, but I think we'll finish fourth and they'll finish third. What do you think, Killian?
I was going to go that we'd finish third and they might win it.
No, so we're both saying lower. In all reality, if you've got our real head on.
If I offered you third now, but Ipswich would win it, would you take that, Killian? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting, right?
As long as we beat them home and away,
which you usually do. Let's be honest.
That's right.
Take that, yeah.
What is it? How many years is it since they've? What's the ticker up to?
16 now, yeah.
16. Okay, right. We'll look forward to that one.
First year, I'm not confident about it, but.
Okay. Right. So you had you down as fourth, Killian. Is that right? Yeah, Matty. What was yours?
No, I have us down as third.
Third. Okay. Right.
I was fourth. Killian said third. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. It's weird that I haven't seen many pundits put Norwich as high as that. Does that bother you? Is that something that you people are writing you off already?
Not really. I mean, it's very hard to tell after a first game how it'll be. I mean, I'm really intrigued to see how Millwall do in their next game, to see were we bad or were they just particularly good. And I think that'll be a good benchmark for all the teams to see how others stack up. But watching Ipswich and Birmingham the other night, I didn't think either of them were particularly good. I think everybody's a bit rusty starting out. So I think 3 or 4 weeks in, I think we have a better idea as to who's looking good in that.
Millwall have got Middlesbrough next week, so I hope they win, but we'll soon see after that.
Watch out for the Aussie sensation that Portsmouth have snapped up as well. Second joint scorer in the A-League in Sydney FC, and already yesterday off to a flyer. So watch out on Saturday for him. Right, thank you very much, you two, for joining us. Next week, of course, we'll review your trip down to Freshen Park, and also be talking about the League Cup result as well. We're also looking at kits as well, and we'd love your comments on the away kit, please, this season. I'm going to read some of these out next week. How does it compare to previous away kits? Some like it, some don't. Let's get your opinions on it. We'll do kits next week. Thank you very much, you two, for joining us. Enjoy your trip to Freshen Park, and we'll see you in 7 days' time. Thanks for watching.
Thanks a lot. Bye, Mark.